Wednesday the 21st of May, and you'll have already seen that I'm doing some cleaning today. I need to do some packing because we go away tomorrow, but there were just a couple of things that I wanted to like dust and clean and clear, so I've done a bit of that, and I've got something in my eye. Blah, blah, blah. Right, so yeah, and Rory's with my dad today, so I've got Aiden at home. He's just having a bit of screen time between like maths and things like that, so it's just, he did a bit of maths this morning, now he's playing a bit of Minecraft, have a bit of a brain break. We'll have some lunch, do some playing, maybe a game, maybe play a board game, and then he's got a bit more maths to do, and then we're going to go out and see some friends this afternoon, go to a park, so that'll be nice. And then yeah, we've got lots of packing to do, so I hadn't actually meant to say any of that but when I get talking I cannot stop. What I actually wanted to sit down and say was that I am about to sort through some minis, because I just need to start thinking. I want to start a blanket for a specific person, and like there's a deadline for it, so I'm just going to have a look through my scraps. When I was at Buxton Wool Gathering, I kept my eye open for some things that might be nice for the blanket, and kind of decided that I wanted to use what I already had, because there was no reason not to do that. So I have some minis upstairs that I will go through and see if any of those will work, but I also quite like the idea of using up scraps. I've got quite a lot of scraps, but I think they're all quite similar sort of colours and things, so I'm going to have a look. But I'm going to do the Sweet Shop blanket. I can't remember who it's by, and it's, if you don't know it, it's like, I'll try and remember to put a picture in, but it's, you make like squares, but half the square is, at least in the example picture, half the square is like a colour, and then the other half is just like plain natural yarn or white or cream or something, and I really like that. I do have a couple of advent calendars that I could use, so I might have a look at my advent calendars. Oh, actually one of them would be really nice for this blanket, I think, but it's a bit darker, and I don't know if dark is what I want, so I'll have to have a look at those. And then I'm just going to get some, I haven't got any like undyed or like neutral yarns, so I definitely haven't got enough if I do have anything, so I'm going to have to buy that, and that's fine. But anyway, this is what I am sort of thinking, but I do want to get started on this pretty soon so that I don't have to like work on it solely. I want to be able to work on it here and there. I also don't know whether or not I'm going to do it the way that the pattern says, where you sort of join as you go. I might just make squares and then sew them together at the end. But I don't know, I haven't decided yet. So at the moment, I'm very much in the sort of early planning phases of this project. Just having a look to see what yarn I might like to use. So it needs DK yarn. I think it says you can do it with any weight of yarn, but I quite like DK for a blanket. Like be a bit cozier than a 4-ply. Okay, I can already see that this isn't going to work, because these are scraps and like they mostly like leftover minis, like from advent calendars and things like that. I can already see I'm not going to have enough yarn. I think you need 9 grams of DK weight, so I like round it up to like 10, so I'm going to need 20 grams of DK weight. Oh well, sorry, I'm going to need 20 grams of fingering weight in order to have enough to do a DK weight, because I'll be holding it double, so I'll need twice as much yarn. So, sorry, there was a bird in the garden and it distracted me. I might have to get my Chromatic Yarns advent calendar out and see all the skeins out, and then, because that's the one that is appealing to me the most, I think. Which isn't a problem, I really like it. I think I'm going to use this. Yeah, I think it's going to look really nice with a white yarn. I think I'll be able to like organise it in a way that shows off the fade. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with this one. this was definitely one of those times where the recipes just seemed like so simple that I thought that I didn't need to read it and find out what to actually do. So I was trying to make chocolate mousse with some leftover silken tofu that we had from our tea yesterday, or the day before. And I had a quick look at the recipe, and it just seemed like you basically like melted the chocolate and then blended the ingredients together. Not exactly. So for one thing, the tofu was supposed to be at room temperature, which actually makes a lot of sense. But it was not. And I was supposed to blend like the sweetener and the tofu together before adding the chocolate, and I did not do that. I just tipped the hot chocolate onto the cold tofu. Unsurprisingly, the cold tofu cooled down the chocolate and it's now like setting in the food processor. So there's two options really when this kind of thing happens. One is to just stop, and one is to just keep going, and I've chosen the keep going option. So I'm just going to keep adding. I've got a bit more chocolate. I'm going to add some more chocolate that's now hot, and hopefully it will warm it all up. So we were supposed to be having pasta for tea. We make a really nice pasta out of this book. I want to call it Santorini. Oh, this is good. That's really good. We've not had that for a while actually. I need to put that in the thing. Here we go. Yeah, Santorini style spaghetti with lemon, capers and tomato. Very, very, that's what it looks like. Very summery, delicious. We've got capers, we've always got capers. We've got some little cherry tomatoes that needed eating, and we usually don't bother using shallots, we usually just use onion. So we've got like pretty much everything we need for it. No, we've got everything we need for it. So that's what we were going to have tonight. And then I've just finished making that mousse and went to rinse something, and we haven't got any water. So yeah. So we can't have pasta because we don't have any water. Apparently it's supposed to be back on before 11 PM, which is great. I also had washing in the washing machine. I don't know, I did try and record a little bit of me trying to clean it out. It was a disaster. I don't know if I caught it on film. I think my battery ran out before it got, but I opened the filter and it just, water just gushed everywhere because I just did it while the washing machine was still running. So that was a disaster. There was water everywhere. So, but that's fine. But now I've got wet towels that I need to wash and I have no water. And we go away tomorrow, so. Yeah, and we've also got like washing up to do. I'm cross that we have no water. And they didn't tell us until, they told us that it was going to happen, but they made it sound like it might just be an inconvenience, that we might have low water pressure or something. And they just like sent Andrew a text like an hour ago, which he was still working, so he didn't really read it. He just kind of looked and was like, okay, it probably just means that the water pressure is going to be low, because that's usually what it means. And then when I was like, there's no water, he was like, oh, and then looked at it and was like, oh yeah, I can see that. So he's just gone to the chip shop. We're going to have fish and chips for tea. He's going to have a pizza. And then And then that's what we're gonna have for tea. So it's like 6:20. We had a really lovely evening playing in the park with friends, and the children are not going to go to bed probably before 9 o'clock. So that's what we need on the day before we go away. So yeah, I'm hoping that maybe we can play a board game tonight. That would be nice. And I still want to finish my t-shirt, but that's not going to happen. I might get the body finished. We'll see.
I really like those kind of ones. Oh, thank you. What's that again? Cakes!
Fish cakes.
Fish cake.
No, I don't want to.
From you being emoji now.
All got the same.
I have also just sterilised my hands, but
Well, yeah, exactly.
we do possess implements that I could have used
Well, then why did you not?
because I elected to reduce washing up waste.
Okay, well that's fine.
You know, take yours. And these things.
How do you make fish?
How do you think you make fish?
I know, fish cake.
Okay. How do you think you make fish cake?
You use fish and make them into cakes. Oh.
And milk.
But the most important thing is
Potato.
fish.
We have made fish cakes from scratch. It took a while.
Get out.
Hi, I want to be Cameron. I want to be Cameron. Wubba, 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 wubba.
If you're interested in knowing what the game is, it's called Karuba Junior. It's by Habba, which don't exist anymore, I don't think. I think they've stopped doing games. But I'm sure your friendly local game shop will have one. Or we'll be able to order it from somewhere, or you might be able to get it like on Amazon or something. Here it is. And it's fantastic. If you like video games, if you like board games and you're looking for something to play with your children, it suggests 4 to 8 years. I'm pretty sure we've had this for a couple of years and Rory has been playing it for that long. I'd say that like you could make it work for like 2 or 3 year olds. Yeah, it's a really great game. It's cooperative, so you're working together to find all the treasure before the pirates get to shore and take all the treasure. So yeah, it's a really great way to talk to your child about like tactics and things like that. So we really, really love it. It's tile placement and the kids love it, and then it's actually fun for us to play as well as adults. I feel like a lot of the time kids board games are really boring if you're a grown up. Good evening. It's 9:20. The children are in bed but not asleep. They were in bed at about 8. And I sat with them for an hour to try and encourage them to settle down. That didn't work, so I left the room and we'll see how well that goes. We had a really lovely evening, eating and chatting, and yeah, some evenings are just really lovely and you don't want them to end, and that was definitely tonight. We played a board game, but possibly playing the board game is what tipped them over the edge into not wanting to go to sleep. I'm going to say goodnight now. We're going to sit on the sofa and watch The West Wing. I'm going to do a bit of knitting, drink a cup of tea, and then we're going to go to bed. We're all pretty much packed for our trip tomorrow, and yeah, hopefully we can get a good night's sleep ahead of quite a long drive. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.